The Kruger National Park is considered one of the most famous game reserves in Africa for many reasons, partly because of its size, also its history and accessibility, but mostly because of its exceptional Big 5 game viewing opportunities. It also helps that it's extremely well run and an absolute pleasure to visit. And best of all, you can just do a day visit and have a fantastic experience.
Hello and welcome to the Overland Legend. I'm Alan. Come and join me as I show you just how easy it is and how much fun you can have when you take a day trip into the Kruger Park.
I'm going to share with you my tips and experience for a fun day trip to the Kruger Park, which is located on the eastern border of South Africa with Mozambique. We took a few days off to visit with my family in Marloth Park, which borders on the Kruger Park. The drive from Johannesburg goes east all the way down the N4. The road is good and is a comfortable, easy trip, but good roads mean regular maintenance, so there's often work to be done. This time we encountered roadworks down the Schoeman's Pass at our favourite farm stall, Joubert and Sons, and then also further on down the old just past the old Nelspruit, now called Mbombela. Marloth Park is a wildlife sanctuary situated on the southern boundary of the Kruger National Park. It has many permanent residents, but is mostly a holiday destination, and a great location to stay if you are passing by or unable to stay in the Kruger Park itself. It's a growing little village with some basic amenities. It also has its own little game reserve called Lionspruit, with many animals to see. It was my first time visiting here, and we took a pleasant drive one afternoon. The first stop was the Vulture restaurant, which just had one or two visitors this time. Another visitor alerted us to a pride of lions in the distant bush.
Oh, sorry.
There's a male lion lying there.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Oh, there he is. Go a little bit forward and look deep into the bush, you'll see him.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
And a little bit further, there's a whole family there.
Oh, nice.
perfect.
Oh, that must be where they are.
I can see him.
They were difficult to film,
I can see him.
but we did see the beautiful male Milo by himself, and the female Muffin with her cubs just a little bit further on.
There.
The roads in the park can be quite rough for normal cars, but they are perfect for landies. Locals were complaining about the lack of rain, but the little streams and the dams were an oasis in this desperately dry bush. We stopped at one of the bird hides and enjoyed some beautiful views of the late afternoon sun setting, with visiting impala and a kingfisher. Then on the way out of the park, we had a close encounter with a giraffe. Around the fire that evening, we made our plans for a Kruger Park day trip the next day. Normally I would leave at sunrise, as this is when the park gates open and it's the best time for game viewing. But it was peak season and school holidays, so this meant that the park would be busy and just arriving would not guarantee entry. In this case, you need to book an entry slot on the Sandparks website. 10 o'clock was the earliest slot available at our closest gate, Crocodile Bridge, 20 kilometers away. The other option was 46 kilometers away at Malelane Gate, which had available slots at 8 a.m. So we headed for Malelane Gate and had a plan to exit at Crocodile Bridge Gate.
Hello. Good and you? Sure.
My first tip for a great Kruger Park experience is get a map. Or if you have one like me, then at least remember to take it with. You can navigate without it because the signage in the park is really good, but you can't plan a route without a map. Our plan was to drive up to Offsal picnic spot and then take a diagonal road across to the Crocodile Bridge Gate where we would exit. The landscape on this end of the park is beautiful, with the many granite hills which gradually disappear as the rock transitions to basalt. The river bridges are always a good place to stop and see what's going on. A bit further up the road, we found our first Kruger Park traffic jam, a sure sign of something to see. In this case, it was a rhino in the distance. I got a good look through the binocs, but couldn't get any shots with my camera. The road was littered with elephant dung and the odd freshly broken branch. It's a sure sign of elephants in the area, so we were on the lookout for them. We stopped at the Offsal picnic spot, which was packed and busy, but we still managed to get a decent cup of coffee from their well-stocked coffee shop, which had many other cafe-type treats available. This leads me to my second tip. If possible, plan ahead and get into the park as early as possible and ideally out of school holidays, if you want to avoid the crowds. Back on the road, and it wasn't long before we came across our first herd of elephants, right next to the side of the road. They were in the process of crossing, so we kept our distance and let them go about their daily business, just watching quietly. Next up were a pair of giraffe, with a lovely backdrop of one of those picturesque hills. And then, just around the corner, we just missed another herd of elephants having a mud bath. This herd had the cutest little baby elephant. Note how the mothers keep continual watch over their young as they cross the road. A bit further on, we reached our turn-off point onto S112, as we had planned to take the diagonal dirt roads S26 down to the Crocodile River, and then S25 onto the park exit at Crocodile Bridge. That's tip number 3. You must plan a route so that you know the distances, know when and where you can stop, and have enough time to get to your rest camp or exit the gate before closing times. Tip number 4 is make sure your batteries are charged. Right here is where I realized that my spare camera batteries were not charged, and I'd left the charger at home. I was not impressed. But luckily we had a second camera that I could use in the meantime.
There's another guy in the trees.
Tip number 5 is get off the tar road and onto those dirt roads. You won't necessarily see more animals, but there is definitely less traffic, and you get to see a lot more of the park. Can you spot the steenbok hiding in the rock crevice here at Renosterkoppies? Well, I missed it on the day and only found out afterwards what I'd missed. So that's tip number 6. Be patient. Get your binocs out and scan the prominent areas like rock outcrops and trees. You never know what you will spot.
super serious.
It's just a nest. There's a bird.
There's a bird.
Super empowering.
We stopped to check out this vulture on its nest, looking after the chicks,
Maybe you can see more.
and then had two other worthwhile sightings. First, an old defender, followed a little bit later by a new defender out in the wild. Who says you only have to look out for animals when out on game viewing drive? It wasn't long before we spotted some more elephants. I never get tired of seeing them. They are fascinating to watch. Tip number 7 is it's important to be respectful. Give them their space and keep a lookout for any signs of aggression.
Zebra crossing. Wait, another zebra crossing.
They're just like fancy wild horses.
Despite our maps and good signage, we still managed to find ourselves on the wrong road somehow.
Says S26 that way.
Yeah, it says Mpondo this way, but it also says S26 8 this way. Now we're on 526.
But that's Mpondo Dam, unless we took the wrong bloody road.
Yeah, we're on the H5, yeah.
Fine, so we go
Yeah, we go down here.
Condo and then S26.
Yeah, yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I did see a sign that said we
Except
were on
there's
the
normally elephant at the front.
We thought we were on S26, but actually it turns out we were on H5. But it wasn't a crisis, and it just meant a slightly longer route to get back down to S26. It gave us a chance to visit Mpondo Dam. And once again, we came across some more elephants having a mud bath. Luckily, they weren't obstructing the road, so we could just sneak past. The next few kilometers down to the Crocodile River, we didn't see much, other than some impala and zebra. But it was still an enjoyable drive through the changing landscape. Tip number 8 is make sure you have enough snacks and drinks packed, because you can spend several hours in the car on these roads without a chance to even stop and get out. And then as we came over a rise in the distance, we spotted the greenery and the Crocodile River in the background. This last section heading toward the exit gate was eerily barren and stark, a sign of the low rainfall and the animals eating everything possible. Back onto the tar road, we made one last stop at the Crocodile rest camp. And that's tip number 9. Plan to stop at all the rest camps you can. They are all interesting and different, and have well-stocked shops, and often the most scenic and comfortable restaurants. After getting an ice cream treat, we exited the gate and crossed the Crocodile River. My last tip is to always take a chance to visit the Kruger Park when you can. There is always something to see and learn. And even better is buy some books and read up on its fascinating history and the stories, and it will make your visit so much more rewarding. To see more on Kruger, check out my Beach to Bush video, where we travelled from north to south in the park and had some amazing sightings too. Thanks for watching, and please remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this. Until next time, bye.